Howdy, folks. Sean, Tim, how's it going? Howdy, folks. Video's working. Let me just make sure this is posted in Discords. Yep. Voyager, how's it going? So the goal with the stream today is to go through, take a look at the Shrike, play around with it, see how the console performs. I've already heard quite a few good things about the console, and just mess around with the trait and all that. Now, with regards to the trait, I was a bit critical of it when I did the stats breakdown the other day, and I do think it is a good trait. It's just not one that I personally am going to be dropping anything on my build for. For many of you, it's probably going to be a very good trait to have on your build, but for me, I just don't have a trait that I could even drop for it. Exotic, Richard, it's gone. It's been an interesting week right now. I'm, to be honest, a little bit irritated. My mom had her surgery earlier this week, and she's been heavily medicated. And we told her quite a bit that there was someone she was talking to that was a scammer, and she unfortunately fell for it. So, just a bit irritated. Stuka, how's it going? Okay. For the Shrike here, you guys already know what I'm going to do with it. I did grab some Polaron cannons off my other character the other day. I just haven't grabbed them from the bank yet. No. Some, like, Cash App scam. So, given that this thing does have, like a built-in Polaron Lance, though I do think it would have been better if the built-in Juggernaut Array thing would have been Disruptor instead of Polaron, but I imagine they went with Polaron just because the captain was like a changeling or whatever, right? So I did grab the Vodwar Polarons that I had over on SOB, and I'm gonna slap them on the Shrike here. And in preparation of the Shrike, I did also go ahead and grab a full set of Polaron Isomag consoles here, so I'm gonna put a full suite of them on the build. Raver Turtle, how's it going? Yankee? Yeah. The Zen sale, yeah, the Zen sale should be live, though it sounds like it's not live on Epic. Let me pop Epic open and check. Yeah, it doesn't look like the Zen sale's live on Epic yet. I don't know when the intended launch date for that is. I mean, they announced the Steam and Arc sales so far, right? But they never announced the Epic one. Yeah, it should be live on console. Yeah. Okay, so for this, I'm going to do the full isomag setup. So Polaron. And I do have comments every now and then asking why I pretty much just only ever run like Cannon Scatter Volley on most of the builds I put together. And it's because Cannon Scatter Volley literally blows every other firing mode out of the water. Like, when you are looking at energy weapons from a meta point of view, it is Cannon Scatter Volley and literally nothing else. Like, Surgical Strikes, Beam Overload, you're talking about cutting your damage in half so that you can run single target, basically. Well, not exactly half, but you take a significant hit is basically the point. Like, AoE is just what dominates this game. So I'm going to put the Vodwar cannons on. Given I'm going to be doing CSV, I'm just going to run with the 4 Vodwar ones that I have here. These are rolled for crit D4. Normally I would have them rolled for damage 4, but this is what they were rolled to when I grabbed them off my other character. Are the dummies on triple yet? I haven't heard any updates there. Rob, intriguing. How's it going? Steel? Make fall great again? I wish. I wish. Okay, I need a Polaron Omni Beam, and I think that there's one from one of the reputations. What is it? Gamma, right? Gamma. Let's grab that Omni Beam there. Oh, I don't have the things. That is unfortunate. Yeah, I'll worry about that one later. Are there any others that are Polaron? I don't remember. I mean, the Lucario doesn't have an Omni. Yeah, I'll just have to grab a random Polaron Omni off an alt or something. So, gonna do the four Bottle Wire Polaron dual heavy cannons up front, plus the Maelstrom Torpedo. If you don't have the Maelstrom off of the Akira, that new Trifluoride one that they have in the current event is actually pretty damn good. Given that it has access to a full set of modifiers, the Trifluoride Torpedo can get within like 7% of the original Maelstrom, so it's not as good, but it's getting you the majority of the way there. And I think I said it on the news video yesterday, but the Maelstrom Torpedo's legitimately been the only torpedo that I have been putting on most of my builds for the past couple of months. It was nerfed, then it was rebuffed, and it's in a pretty good state. Like, it is legitimately a very high impact torpedo to put on your build. Just put on another battery here. So console wise, you know, whenever you're looking at a damage type that you don't necessarily have, like that you may not have dealt with a ton recently, the V'ger tool is extremely handy because you can go over to the space equipment tab, you can look up Polaron, you know, and you can search descriptions and look for, say, universal consoles that are going to boost Polaron. And you can just click through here and see if there's any that you're missing. So the Ordnance Accelerator is the console that I was looking for the name for. But you can just take a look through that and see if there's anything that has like a set bonus or just some sort of effect to boost what you're trying to do. I do need the piezo electric focuser here. Piezo, do I have that on this character? I do not. I'm gonna have to grab that. It's Lucario rep. I already scrolled past it, didn't I? I don't remember if the piezo electric focuser, if it's got a two-piece with or that gives a Polaron buff. I'm gonna have to look here. 15% Cat 1 Polaron weapon damage. What does the cannon look like again? I think I'll just leave my existing dual heavy cannon on and just run the console there. Morphogenic. I don't have Morphogenic right now. I don't have it on this character. How's it going? Dustin, you're running the flagship consoles. How do I rate them in builds? I think the two-piece is pretty solid. The adaptive emergency systems and the flagship tactical computer. I don't think that I'm going to personally put them on every build, but that is a very good option for like more budget oriented builds or like even like mid-range. If you don't have like some of the Lobby consoles, that's a pretty good set to have on. Too scared to run home? I just never enjoyed that mission. Our Agony phaser cannon's good. It literally doesn't matter. So when it comes to like a specific subset of phasers, polarons, disruptors, it literally doesn't matter. Run whatever color you like. Whatever flavor of phaser that you like, run it. The difference is so incredibly small that you're never going to notice it. And we are all about to get a version of the Maelstrom from the event run. I was just kidding in the last stream that we'd get a new Maelstrom with double damage and half cooldown. Yeah, I mean, the event Maelstrom, it's pretty good for what it is. Like, it doesn't beat the original Maelstrom, but damn, is it close. Definitely do not miss out on that event. Okay, where did this console go? Here it is. Yeah, the Bug Hunt event is live on PC. Upgraded. So the Covert Warhead module from the Gamma Reputation has a Polaron damage buff on it, and if I go in and get the Omni later, that 2-piece does also have another small Cat 1 Polaron damage buff on it. And then I'm also running the Piezo Electric Focuser from the Lucari Reputation because that's another 40% Cat 1 for Polaron. Laser, yeah. I can't English right now, is what's going on there. Yeah. How's it going? Okay, so I'll toss the Immolating Phaser Lance on still, because that console, even on a non-phaser build, is still pretty damn handy to have on hand. For the rest here, let's see. For a little bit of survivability, I'm going to toss the Shield Absorptive Frequency Generator on. That's off of the T3 Valdor, which you can get with Dilithium. It's like 75k dill if you don't have the legendary Valdor. That's just a really good survivability console on an AoE build like this. I'm going to go with the Sensor Phantom Projector because I imagine we're going to be doing some random or just some elite content here later in the stream. And that is another survivability console that's pretty handy. And for the last console slot here, thinking of what I want to go with. I think I might just go with like Bioneural. I mean, I could do DPRM for another survivability clicky. That is an option there if I want, but I could also just go for the Bioneural just to have some more crit D on the build. Because what am I at here? Honestly, I probably could use a little bit more crit chance with them stats, so I might do... Where's the ultimate? Yeah, I'll just do the ultimate modified swarm processor instead, just to get a little bit of crit chance back on the build. Would the Piezo Polaron cannons work with this to get the 2-piece? Yeah, that'd be perfectly fine. I'm just not going to go with them with this, just because the color would be noticeably different. I like the visuals of the Vaudoir Polaron weapons. They've always been really good to look at. Yeah, the first Strike bundle is still pretty damn good. Squid, the reroll with the isomags is quite brutal. Okay. So I do need to find a Polaron Omni of some sort. So let me save what I have here and just run down to our locator. Yeah, you know what? I am completely having a brain fart there. It's been that type of week. As some of you may recall, I mentioned last week that my mom was going to be having a surgery this week. That has happened, and she's been having a rough time. Been trying to help her out a bit, and last night, we had to call an ambulance because the pain was just unbearable for her. So it's been a hectic week. Been helping her out and been babysitting my 2-year-old niece quite a bit. Brilliant Blade, how's it going? Psycho Chicken? The issue for her right now is that the meds they got her on hydrocodone, and it's just literally doing nothing for her. Yeah, I need to find a Polaron Omni here. Let me see if I have one quick. SOB might have one. Thank you. Yeah, they gave her morphine at the hospital last night, and then they like rebandaged her foot. I just don't have the stuff to get it on that character for the moment. I will get it eventually. It's just right this second I don't have the stuff on that character. And apparently I have. I'll just grab another turret here until I get that Omni. So I need to get one of the elite marks for the Gamma Rep to be able to grab that Omni. The Maelstrom's tutorial, honestly, Voyager, I haven't seen it yet. I don't have Morphogenic set on casual. So something to keep in mind is SOB was my main character for like most of the past decade, but in the past 2 or so years, casual has become my main character, and I just simply have not went through and done a lot of the story missions on this character. So that's the issue I'm running into, is that there is some stuff that I just never bothered to go out and get for this character, because for the builds that I was focusing this character on, I just didn't need it. You know, I never needed the morphogenic set. Um, and then there's some other rep stuff that I just never bothered to go out and pick up. Yeah. I think she has like some allergy to NSAIDs or something. I don't remember. Merc worker. So do emergency power to weapons 3. Actually, let's see. Do I want to do MAS 2 or that instead? Narrow sensor bands 2, and then I can do emergency power to weapons 1 and emergency power to engines 1. Set up here. Cannon scatter volley, override subsystem safeties 3. What was I gonna do here? I think ionic turbulence 1 for the debuff that it has, and then I'll do viral impulse burst. Those viral impulse burst and ionic are both some nice uncons to put on the build. I'll do tractor beam 1 for another uncon, and a photonic officer 1 just to have some redundancy with cooldown reduction. On the Lieutenant Commander Universal, I'm going to leave that as attack. I'm going to do Hemocyte 1, attack pattern beta 1, and then a Torp spread 3. And that Torp spread 3 will be for the Maelstrom. So you can also do emergency power to weapons 3 if you want, but the mixed armament synergy 2 might get you a little bit more here. This third turret is going to be replaced with the Omni Beam from the Gamma Reputation. I just need to do something to get me the last elite mark to unlock that on this character. The Temporal Light Cruiser, I had mine set up as a torpedo build. I don't have it in front of me right now, and given my recent luck with changing loadouts, I don't really want to change ships right this moment. But ping me on Discord, and I'll see if I can put my torp setup for it in chat later on the Discord. I'll get the Gamma Omni, and that'll cover it, because I don't have room for the rest of the Morpho set. Okay, I'm gonna save the loadout again. Okay, what I'm missing here? Quality. And remember too, when you're changing traits on a build, you can just drop and drag from the right side over to the left to the slot that you want. You don't have to uncheck that the trait is active and all that. You can literally just drag something else there. So, say I wanted to run Cultural Conquest on this instead of Overpowered Overgunned. All I would have to do is drag Cultural Conquest over to where OPOG is, and it would just swap out just like that. Torp's not the most free-to-play friendly. Well, just remind me on Discord and tell me what type of build you're wanting to do, and I can get you a Bridge Officer setup typed up for it. Dark Ghost, how's it going? For this build, though, I'm going to do Calm actually there instead. So, Emergency Weapon Cycle, Withering Barrage, Calm Before the Storm, Tearing Goodbye, Ruin, Ship of the Line from the Legendary Avenger. I really like that trait. And Universal Designs. For the space reps, going with the normal, so advanced targeting systems for the crit severity, magnified firepower for the Cat 2 weapon damage, precision for the crit chance, enhanced shield pen for the shield pen, and Tyler's duality for more crit chance. And for the personal traits here, Good Day to Die, Adaptive Offensive, Intelligence Agent Attaché, Fragment of AI Tech, Kinetic Precision I'll leave on for the Maelstrom for now. Duelist Fervor, Self-Modulating Fire, Terran Targeting, Fleet Coordinator. I'm going to drop Cannon Training and put Unconventional Systems on here. And then the last is Boimler Effect. 9 space and ground trait slots. So the reason this character has 11 is because it's an alien. This is an alien, and aliens do get an extra trait slot, and then what was it? The elite captain token that gave the extra. One of the tokens gave an extra trait unlock or trait slot. Thirst for battle on this beast to make it easier to fly. I mean, you could if you wanted. Okay, I'm gonna clear this tray off here quick. It is just a normal cloak, which basically means that it doesn't have a cloak. Normal cloaks just suck in the current state of the game. I wish that they would stop putting them on ships, but here we are, and they keep doing it. The reason that I say that they're pretty much useless is because as soon as you hit anything that puts you into red alert, it knocks you out of the cloak. What's the best fighters for the Suliban Silic? Probably going to be like, if you have Sad, it's going to be like your Toduge. If you want to do the Veil fighters, I really don't know how they perform. Do I use the Crusher Bridge Officer? No. The cooldown on the Crusher Bridge Officer, which I do think I have here. Is it the trait? A lot's happened in the last 20 years. So it's too short of a buff, and the cooldown on getting the buff is too long. So activating Torpeiled 1, or it gives you a Torpeiled 1 after activating a shield or hull repair, but it can only do it once every 45 seconds. And the cooldown reduction is, it's like, what is it, 5 seconds, but it's got a 30-second cooldown. So the uptime on what she has is just too low, and you would never want to slot her over like an SRO or Watcher. Yeah, the Alliance pets are pretty good too under SAD, because those have pulse cannons. Okay, for the tray here, for my main spam key, which is tray 10, I'm going to put Cannon Scatter Volley up front. And after that, I'm going to do Attack Pattern Beta, Chemosight, and at the end of the tray, I'm going to put Emergency Powered Engines and Weapons. And then I'm going to put on my Miracle Worker abilities here. So Narrow Sensor Bands and Mixed Arm and Synergy. What else can I do here? I guess I can do Ionic, Viral Impulse Burst, and I'll put my Photonic Officer there as well. Actually, I'll move Ionic down to my second tray just because that is a debuff, and I'll put my Tractor Beam on the main tray just so that's getting activated as much as possible. Odin Knight, yeah. Man, he's been doing a lot of stuff like with swords and all that. I've seen some of his posts over on Facebook, and he's been really big into doing like the medieval type fighting. So I have strat, secondary, intel, primary. It looks like right now. The issue is that Maelstrom you want to have on Torp Spread. You don't want to. You are going to get a lot more out of Maelstrom if it's working as a Torp Spread versus a high yield. The Maelstrom under Torp Spread just does so incredibly good. And I've already forgot to put my Brace for Impact on the tray and my Evasive, so let me do that quick. Frenzy, firing my mark. Already got Go Down Fighting on the tray. Sensor Phantom Projectors here for survivability. This is the Shrike Juggernaut array. That there. And the portal weapon, that's going to be interesting to play around with. Okay. I think that's just about everything. Looks like it. So I do need to get that Omni on the build still so that I can fully benefit from Mixed Arm and Synergy. Until it's on there, Mixed Arm and Synergy is not going to be doing as much for me. So let me save this and resave it to yet another loadout. No dummies on Tribble. I directly messaged one of the QA folks over there about that a couple weeks ago, and oh yeah, Torp Spread. Torp Spread and turn. Make sure with Maelstrom you don't have it on auto fire. You do want to have some manual control over it. Kent, that would be nice, but I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. I would rather see them add in a Sovereign. Like a Sovereign Juggernaut, to be honest. Just like a really nice 5/3 version of the Sovereign. Yeah, I'm sorry, Tim. I'm a little out of it today, just everything going on with the family and all that. Just bit exhausted this week. What am I missing here? I'm missing the biomolecular shield gen. So I'm going to have the Torp Spread manually activated alongside the Maelstrom so that I can use that at points in the run that are a bit more strategically advantageous. Mia, how's it going? Alan? Okay, I'm going to pop into a patrol here to level the ship up. So I'm going to do an Elite Wanted. Yeah, the Sovereign, it is really disappointing just how little attention they give it. Got a ship. I mean, the Shrike, even if you don't want the Shrike, it sells pretty well right now.
You have entered. Looks like our flight got them to notice. Let's go over and ask if their claws might come out high. Keep concentrating fire on individual ships.
Yeah, the VOD War Polaron just looked really nice.
We will not go quietly.
The portal weapon is cool. It's going to be a bit to get used to, though.
Sensors are picking up small habitations from the asteroid, possibly consistent with Volpol's temporary hideout. We do what we want, where we want. Picked up a tight E transmission on a new frequency. We're jamming that spectrum on their comms now, but it was probably a call for assistance. I'm taking you.
My piloting is indeed a little bit sloppy. Yeah, that's neat. And it just shut down? That's weird. I don't know why the portal just shut down. I didn't hit it. The timer is even still running on it. Thought that one was gonna die. There we go. Not the fastest Argala, but shuts down if the target dies. Gotcha. So I must have clicked it on the wrong target.
Thank you for your assistance, and welcome to this sector. We recommend that you get underway.
Yeah, Christopher, the Shrike, from what I understand, is selling pretty well. You could probably get yourself like 1.7 billion EC, like if you were going and trying to sell a promo ship right now. I'm using Polaron because the built-in Juggernaut array is Polaron based. Gotcha, Sean. How good essential is the neutronic eddy generator for EPG builds, and would I recommend picking it up from mods? I do think that there's still quite a few high-end builds using it. Like it definitely took a hit, but I'm pretty certain, like if you go and look at the tables here for Hive, I'm pretty certain that still gets used. So the most recent run here is from Kenobi from a couple months ago, so let me take a look. And Kenobi not use it, or is it under pets? No, it's still there. I mean, that's 145k on that run. Like that's still an insanely good console. So if you're really focused on EPG, that is still a console that is performing quite well. With SCM, some of the clicky consoles you use are going to show up under pets. That is just an SCM issue. So like the Bioelectric Wave, which is the console off of the Connie, the Neo Connie, the Enterprise, was it G or whatever? Steven? It's going fine. I'm definitely a bit more tired than usual, but it's been a fun week. So yeah, neutronic eddies I would still go for. Wait for SCM to load here. Shuts down on target's dead. Gotcha. That Argala was literally the first time I'd used the console. I picked the ship up right after the patch on Thursday, but just didn't have time then to go through and really do much with it. So yeah, the reason I'm using Polaron is because the built-in Juggernaut array on this thing is Polaron based, meaning that your Polaron tack consoles are going to buff it. So I can demonstrate that here by taking one off. And if we look at the damage here, you see it's at 55,313. And it went up a couple K there. So your Polaron tack consoles are impacting the Juggernaut array. I missed a couple things in chat here. Domino only has a small cat 1 passive boost for Phaser. Yeah, you can run Domino on a Polaron, Tetron, Disruptor build, doesn't matter. It's a good console to have on most do builds. It's just that I don't have room for it with the specific setup that I'm putting on the ship. Warp Core, am I saying that you should gamble and hopefully the Shrike will pay for the gambling? I don't want to advise that there's a way to profit off of any gambling mechanic in Stowe because it is all RNG based. But on average, during good enough promo sales, you technically can make a small profit with like Delta Alliance promo packs or the R&D ones. I'm not advising that people go out and do that because it is a huge gamble and you need a few billion to be able to do it. But in theory, if you look at the average drop rates, then yes, technically it should be possible for you to profit. And I do think I actually have a spreadsheet going over that. So let me pull that up here quick. So these values obviously are not up to date, but in theory, like if you were opening like a couple hundred Delta promo packs or a couple hundred of the R&D promo packs, then in theory you would probably be able to turn a profit. But I'm not going to advise that because that is just based on averages, and you might get the ship in one box or it might take you 180. So I'm not going to advise that you go out and do that, but if you have tens of billions of VC, then you probably already know that this is something you can do that can potentially net you a decent return. And I'll put that spreadsheet in chat here for anyone that wants to play around with it. And if you want to just file, make a copy, and update the values on it, that'll give you a bit more of an accurate assessment as to the profit potential right now for opening promo packs. When I get the free Maelstrom from the Feast event, going to test it out on Tribble. Well, it's already like known to be like 7% behind. Yeah, if you really want the Shrike, you're better off to just buy the promo packs and sell them on the exchange rather than trying to gamble for it. Exactly. Okay, let's do some more content here. Let's do a Hive Space Elite. So I apologize for not remembering the names, but I did get a message last night. Let me see if I can see who it was from. I had a lot of DMs in the past day. Andy. So Andy sent me a message and had mentioned that there might be an interesting interaction between the portal device and the Queen. So I want to give that a shot here. Yeah, only 7. It's pretty damn good. Like the Maelstrom Trifluoride is actually a pretty good torpedo to get. Portal device. So the portal device, the way it works is you click it on the target and it creates a linked pair of portals like within or 2 kilometers in front of you and the target. And your weapons can go through them, and if a ship flies through them, including your pets, then they can also go through the portal. But what I was hearing from Andy, and I think someone else had mentioned it also, is that the feedback pulse from the Queen is not being sent back through the portal, meaning that if you use the portal device to hit the Queen, you can shoot her while she has the feedback pulse active. Are legendary ships better than the fleet version of the ship? Yeah, I mean, in general, legendary ships are meant to be. It's not always guaranteed that the legendary ships are going to be better than their prior iterations, but that's the intent, is that they're the best version of the ship. And yeah, if you don't want to pay for the Shrike, like, the event campaign is going to be starting up for next year, is going to be starting up in February. So if you buy out the first event, you buy out the second event day one, and you continue to play every single day of those events, you could have your event campaign done probably by like April. I think in general they have in the past. I don't know for sure if those bundles will be classified as part of the bundle sale though. I don't know for sure. I'm going to save the portal device for the Queen. Drop feedback. So let's see this. Here's the portal device. I could shoot her from more than 10 kilometers away because of it.
I control every ship, every drone speaks with my voice.
And she didn't have feedback pulse up, but supposedly the feedback pulse wouldn't be reflected through the portal. I don't know if that's an intended thing, but that's what I've been hearing. Nanya, I did see that post over on Reddit. Yeah. Good run, everyone. Think someone subnuked? Gotcha. Yeah, if you sell the promo packs in like a pack of 10, that definitely is more likely to sell a bit faster, because for anyone that is actually going in and ripping open a ton of the promo packs, that is going to be just really handy to have them posted in a big lot like that. Fleet Bozeman is the best Miranda. Yeah, we need more Mirandas in the game, though, you know? We need more Miranda skins. Will there be a Legendary Vengeance? Probably not, but it would be nice. Are tack cubes not a thing anymore? Not for the most part. The tack cubes were converted to the normal cube visuals, and the old cubes were converted into assimilators, those little PlayStation 2 looking things. Yeah. Shooting beyond 10 kilometers is still pretty slick indeed. Legendary Galore Keldon, that I think that is one ship that would greatly benefit from having a legendary version, because the existing Keldon with just a lieutenant commander intel seat sort of sucks. No, I don't like the removal of the cubes, to be honest. I still am not a fan of the cube to assimilator change personally in this older content. I think it looks really bad in Kier Space Elite also, or just Kier Space in general, because the green lines that go from the platforms up to where the cubes used to be, they didn't go through and adjust that when they put the assimilators in. Would be nice to do a Wolf 359 tactical cube TFO. I don't understand why they haven't already. How's the Shrike trait? The Shrike trait is really good on a build that is actually running multiple on a build that is running a lot of different damage sources where it can benefit from the trait with a bit more than what I'm doing with this build. It's pretty good. Like if you have a build that's using beams, cannons, torps, universal console that does some damage, and either an experimental weapon or capital ship innate weapon, like, it's a pretty damn good trait. For me, it's not good enough for me to replace any of the existing traits on my build with it, but I do think that for most people, this is going to be one of the best traits that they have available to them. This is a very, very good trait. It's just not one that you're necessarily going to put on like a multi-million DPS cannon scatter volley build. With builds like that where you're at like 100% crit chance, you just don't really have room to drop one of your existing traits to put the Shrike trait on. But for like a surgical strikes build, probably is one of your like top 7 traits. And if you are running multiple firing modes and you've got like a beaming cannon on your build, definitely a trait you want to take a look at. Okay, I do need to do something to get that part for the Omni Beam though. So I guess a swarm. Let's do a swarm event here. Just going to do public queue. Just going to do public queue for the swarm event just to get, or no, that's not going to give me the part. Never mind. Let's do a swarm elite. Swarm elite. Because I do need to actually get a one of the elite marks for Gamma Rep, and Swarm Elite is still like the only option. Or advanced. Keldon needs its lands to be universal, yeah. Liz, I would say to just grab the Phoenix tokens now and just be patient and wait for the next Phoenix event. Yeah, I would never buy the upgrades directly from the C-store. Just be patient, wait for them to show up in the Phoenix event again. Sounds good, Bina. 44 or 47 sold, nice. I guess just spread out here. I'll cover the left lane. every 2 to 3 months. I'd imagine we'll probably see one again, you know, like middle end of December. Oh, we got power him up. It's been so long since I've done this, Q. I forgot we gotta power the ships up. The Q wants us to do more than just kill the enemy. Terrible Voyager. It's just, it depends on how it's executed. You got the track mines? Okay. Help over here. Unfortunately, I think the Maelstrom just went off without the Torp spread, even though I hit the Maelstrom or the Torp spread first. That's just how it goes sometimes in stuff. Is that everything here?
The last of the rest.
Warp core? I almost said it. Yeah, let's just make sure we're spread out. I'll cover this
Refugee ships heading
leftmost
down to
lane
State
again.
Alpha. Protect them.
We got all the lanes protected. Voyager, go help the A lane, I think. It's lit up as red. That B, I can't tell. Mac, how's it going? After this, Days of Doom Elite, I really do not enjoy that content. I'm sorry. Yeah, Zor, you have to keep in mind too, like every one of these ships that Cryptic that drops into the game, Cryptic is getting like at least like, you know, $100 for. And most likely, given the average drop rate of being like 94, like, you know, they're getting like 150 to $200 per each of these ships that drops, which is just crazy.
Dreadnought on sentry. Be careful.
I think it's a good ship. Like, it's a good ship. I still don't think it's, like, going to be, you know, a top, like, CSV platform. It's not going to just, you know, replace the Vaadwaur Juggernaut, the Legendary Avenger, the Inquiry, or the Delkina, but it's pretty damn good. And if you're doing surgical strikes, this is definitely one of the top surgical strikes platforms in the game, I would say. I don't have a setup for it right now for surgical strikes, but like it would work pretty well for that. I think the issue I'm seeing too at the console is like you want to use it against big HP targets, but it's in the that's not always going to be useful. Like I don't really need to activate it here.
You're speeding up the evacuation. All lanes will be utilized now. Refugee ships heading down escape route Alpha. Protect them.
Oh, bit of lag right there. Whenever you see your ship jump like that, that's server performance just not being amazing. How's the overall mobility? Like mobility? I mean, not the best, but not that bad. For that, I'll need to take it into an infected to like get a really good feel on the mobility. I just hope infected isn't this like it isn't like this laggy. Yeah, and for surgical strikes too, there's also the Fleet Soyuz, which is the fleet version of the Bozeman Intel frigate. Like, that is an incredibly good ship. Like, legitimately, like, if you're looking for a surgical strikes platform on a budget, that Fleet Soyuz Intel frigate is legitimately amazing.
Protect the refugee ships. Refugee ships heading down escape route Alpha. Protect them.
Oh, more spawn crate in front of me, damn it. I don't like that the Juggernaut array does have a bit of an activation time to it. With the other Juggernaut arrays, like you hit it and it goes off. But this one does seem to require a bit more. I'm gonna go help out this other lane quick. I don't know how much it's visible in like the stream here, but I feel like the ship's stuttering around a little bit, and that's just the server performance. I mean, the legendary D7s are, you know, not that far off the Shrike here, to be honest.
First ship spotted at escape route Gamma. Get over there.
It's a 15-kilometer range on the portal, I believe. The activation time is not amazing either, to be honest.
Refugee ships heading down escape route Alpha. Protect them. Head to escape route Vega. Protect the refugee ships.
Yeah, I see my ship like jittering back a little bit here and there. Wait, hiding his favorite layout for the Shrike beam overload. Terrible. What are we missing?
That's everyone.
Oh. We did it. Now I can craft this Omni. Good job, everyone. Polaron through the portal. I wonder if that would work. Legendary D7. I mean, this would just be a little bit better than that, and like just a couple percent, I would imagine. Like that legendary D7 does still have some advantages over the Shrike. Like it has, the cruiser commands. You've got on that legendary D7, it's got the weapon cruiser command, if I recall. That's nice. It's got a battle cloak, right? So the Shrike here just has a normal cloak for whatever reason. Normal cloak sucks. Like the normal cloak, if that's all a ship has, it may as well not have a cloak. Because as soon as you hit anything that puts you into red alert, you're pulled out of the cloak. So D7. Yeah, it's a battle cloak on the legendary D7. Like, if you have the legendary D7 from that legendary Klingon captain bundle, you're getting, like 95% of what the Shrike is. Maybe a little bit closer, given that this D7 does have some things that the Shrike doesn't, like the weapon cruiser command and also an actual battle cloak. The mastery package on the Shrike is certainly better. So it does have that going for it. It's got a built-in Juggernaut array, but like you could still do most of what you could do on the Shrike with that D7. I am thinking of getting the fleet carrier Warbird. No idea how good that thing is. I do prefer fast ships. The fleet carriers are pretty slow. What are the passives on the Shrike console? It's 25.6 Cat 1 all damage and 17.1% hull capacity, which is then going to be a crit chance buff through Tyler's duality. Yeah, for CSV, the Shrike is better than the D7. But if you're doing CSV, the Legendary Avenger would still be a better platform, in my opinion. Yeah, we can do an Infected. Let me grab this Omni and upgrade it quick. That's what I was waiting on. Because I've got Mixed Arm and Synergy on, but wasn't really able to fully capitalize on that without having this beam on. Because with the Maelstrom, I'm not always firing it, so... Protostar in like 7 boxes? That's pretty damn lucky. $50 damage, there we go. There it is. There's the Gamma Omni on, the advanced inhibiting, and that has a 2-piece for another 10% Cat 1 Polaron damage. Not much, and it's also a turn rate buff, which is probably going to be a bit more handy on this ship, so good 2-piece to have for a Polaron build. Now, some of you are probably, going to ask again, why am I doing Polaron? Well, the innate lance on this ship is Polaron. You don't have to do Polaron, but I wanted to do it just for the ability to buff that Juggernaut array up. And it's nice to do a different damage type every now and then. Polaron's really not that bad. Neither is Tetron, to be honest. The amount of dislike and hate those damage types get is a bit more than they really need, in my opinion. You can pull out any damage type in Stow and easily do more than enough DPS to get through whatever content the game has. Like, you can do 1 million with the Polaron build, you can do 1 million with the Tetron build. It's been done before. You don't have to stick to just Phaser, Disruptor, or Plasma. I don't have the Morphogenic set on this character. Sorry, Distant Knight. Okay, I'm going to do an Infected. I already know Pina you want in, and Voyager I already know you want in. So we've got 2 slots here for an Infected Space Elite. AP can do it too, yeah. Yeah, the Hiawatha is actually a pretty decent science, for how cheap it is to get. The Hiawatha is definitely pretty solid, and the Terran Monitor or whatever it is, the Nebula that launched earlier this year, that's also a capable platform. It's not the best. Carriers in general are not in a very good state in this game, but they can do well enough. Nice. Nice, Steven. I got 2 slots for this infected. Did anyone want to join? The Silic is also pretty good. We use that as more of a, I mean, if you're looking for like a Psi carrier, then you're looking at probably the Hiawatha or like the Monitor. If, oh, okay, we're full with those 2 messages. What's this? Valerie, get you in on the next one. I'm sorry, I did miss a couple people in chat. Everyone that I missed in chat, I'll get you for the next TFO here. Is everyone good to go? Lieutenant Johnson, it's going fine. I'm hoping another thing that I'm hoping to have happen today is USPS bring me the package they misdelivered yesterday. That's nice. Okay, taking us in. Infected Elite, here we go. Next TFO Guillotine Elite. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, Warp Core, the Hiawatha does look a bit phallic, yes. If I own a legendary version of the ship, would it be worth... Not... Only if the non-legendary version has a better bridge officer setup for the build you're trying to do. Definitely some server performance issues going on here. This is where I wish I had a grapple on the build, though, because not being able to get the spheres up on the gateway is not great. You see, I guess the issue is here, like, this portal console, like, where the hell am I supposed to use it in here? Like, here? Like, you know, there's not always going to be a practical use for the Portal console. Like, in something like this, it's more of a gimmick. 750k is not amazing. Yeah, so I had an Eagle Moss ship, the Blackbird from BSG that I got on eBay. Because I'm trying to get that collection, and they delivered it to a parcel locker, but they didn't put the key to the parcel locker in my mailbox. So I left a note in there, and hopefully when they're delivering stuff later today, they go through and find where they put the key. Can you troll with it at the start? I think they talked about disabling that. I didn't even try, to be honest. Okay, let's do a Guillotine Elite up next. So I'm going to cycle folks out here to get everyone that I missed. Thank you all for joining the infected there. Yeah, it's... I think bit more control in the run, and the server performance just doesn't feel good. The server performance did not feel amazing in there at all. But for a CSV build, anything under... To me, anything under 1 million is a bit underwhelming. Okay, so who did I miss in chat here? Get Mitchie in here. Valerie, you said you wanted to go. Jeff, drop your at handle in here again, would you? Did I miss anyone else then for this? Just gonna do a Guillotine Elite up next. Oh, okay. Gotcha, Valerie. Okay, 2 slots for a Guillotine Elite. Who wants to join? Val Shamfire. Okay, I'll get you. One more. The legendary what, Stuka? I'm sorry if I think I missed your prior message. Or is this heart emote blocking it on the chat? I can't tell. Is there any skill planner for this game since So Academy Planner is no more? Yes, there is. I talked about it in the recent news video, but over on the Builds Discord, some folks have been working on sets for the past year. And there is a version of it that you can go and mess around with. There is a few steps you have to do to go in and install it, but Sets is a build planner that you can mess around with. I'll drop this link in chat. And if you're on the Builds Discord, there's a channel dedicated to like any support discussion for the Sets program. Okay, Mr. Smith. Gunhead, I'll grab you in on the next one. Okay, is everyone good to go? Cool. So Legendary Defiant. Yeah, the Legendary Defiant's good. The Adamant's also good. Depends on what you're trying to do. Okay, I'm taking us into the Guillotine. Again, for the Guillotine, remember on the second phase where we're flying around to the numbered things on the edge of the map, when those finish, it spawns an assimilator for each one that finishes. So we have to make sure that we take out those 6 assimilators before they escape. If any of those 6 assimilators escape, we fail the mission. That's for the second phase when we're going around to the numbered stuff on the edge of the map. That's the only fail condition to worry about for this one. Yeah, go for it, Lieutenant Johnson. Ash Weaver T5? No. My new glasses should be here today also. Hopefully it doesn't take them too long to get here today. Some days USPS is here like by 2, and some days recently it's been as late as 8. I am going to be doing some like updated guidance for the Black Friday sales. But I would say to take a look at like the legendary battlecruiser bundle. That is, you know, that dropped about a month or 2 back, and honestly, the Legendary Avenger and the Bortesque are both incredibly good ships. The Legendary Avenger, if you're looking to set up a due platform, especially if you're doing cannon scatter volley, I still think that Legendary Avenger is better than the Shrike here, and you get it on account wide unlock through that bundle. So I would definitely take a look at that. The First Strike bundle, if you like the Akira or the Valdor, that's still fine also. And then the classic ones like the legendary Romulan Warbird bundle, that's still pretty good. And that the Daradex is better now that they have introduced the Isomags into the game. Zor, I'm almost wondering if that might be part of the next anniversary bundle or something, honestly. Because what the pictures of that thing leaked out like over the summer, right? So no idea there. My corpse thread misfired again. Hate that. Yeah, as soon as the target dies, the portal closes. That means you have to be really safe with what you click it on, and it really diminishes the value of this console in lower difficulty content. And the simulator here. Yeah, to be honest, after using the Portal console a little bit, I mean, the passives on the console are pretty good. But just the clicky effect, I'm not sure how much practical use that's going to have for most people. Will the 10th Mega Bundle be available for Black Friday? I don't know. I think they would have announced it, you know, in that email if the 10th was going to be back. We might see it again, like, near the end of the year in December. So, for this portion, we need to go around to the different points on the map and activate them. And we need to protect them from some of the adapters that will spawn out. And again, this is the portion where once the progress on them finishes, the assimilators are spawned that we have to take out. Yeah, I would love to have a gravity well on this build, but I think I'd have to like sacrifice some of the intel abilities if I want to do that. I'm not sure if I really want to do that with this setup. Okay, the first assimilators are going to start to spawn in. Oh, gotta clear these out first. Okay, let's find that assimilator.
A Borg assimilator is attempting to escape. Stop it if you can.
Where is it? There it is. Okay, one down. I'm just going to focus on taking these assimilators out. $208K from the dispersing nanoprobe assimilator. Damn it.
A Borg assimilator has failed to escape.
I think math on the upgrades has been done in the past. The Phoenix ones are like by far the best to go with. Just gotta clear this out. I mean, it's fine. I don't feel like it's, you know, something that is performance-wise above anything that I already had. Like, it's a good ship to fly. Like, it's got a decent setup. It looks good. It's really a really solid ship. The trait's good. The console's good. In some situations, like, it's an overall solid package. It's just, like, it doesn't do anything really that new for me. The portal device is cool, but the fact that it turns off as soon as the target dies means that its use cases are a bit limited. Just make sure to get these assimilators taken out before we work on the cubes.
Something is disrupting the stitching network.
What I do with the Phoenix upgrades or the Phoenix tokens is I convert all of the rares to upgrades, and then for the ultra rares and very rares, those I will use for the P6X upgrades. Yep, there we go. All these simulators are dead. Now we just gotta work on these. Apparently, I can't shoot it. No. I'm gonna hit the portal on the other one. And the portal already, like, disappeared? Trying to just get myself in a position where I can hit both cubes with my scatter volley at the same time. Razor or Shrike? I feel like the World Razor does something different. You know, I feel like I'd personally, like, between the two, I'd probably rather have the World Razor. It really just depends on what you're trying to do. It's just that everything that the Shrike does can be done. There's other platforms that are better. With the World Razor, you know, for that temporal command combo, like, there's not really many other options out there. So it's you know, it's fairly unique. Whereas this Shrike just doesn't, you know, the ship itself doesn't do anything new. Everything the Shrike does, you could already do with the existing platforms out there. And in some of the cases, you know, some of those existing platforms can do it better. I'll catch up on chat here after this one. As soon as we kill the tack cube, it's pretty much done. I really don't like just how sluggish activations feel right now. Server performance always is a little bit worse following the start of a new, like, event campaign event, but this does not feel very pleasant. Good job, everyone. Like, it's a fun queue. Like, Guillotine Elite legitimately is really fun.
Well done. Through harmony, we are secure. Through unity,
Okay, let me catch up on chat. Yeah, and I did just get a message from Goss too. I think we're looking at doing, like, a video going over some of the Black Friday sales and all that here, so that might be dropping here the next couple days. Bet people can't wait for the Elite Random TFO. That's going to be a pain. How good is Legendary Bort trait? Seems great. I mean, for a ship where you want mobility, it's decent. Yeah, the Legendary Dideridex is definitely one of the ships that has seen a massive boost from Isomegs. I think I already answered Scuba Steve's question there. Yeah, Gravwell definitely would be nice right now. How long ago was the video on linking Arc and Epic accounts? I unlisted it, Vosper, because it was disabled a day or two after that video went out. Like, as soon as people started to take advantage of it, Cryptic turned it off. Liz, glad to help. Yeah, bonus send is through the end of the month, I believe. Merrick Worker, D7 or Shrike. You know, Rodolfo, I would say go for the Miracle. Both of those are good. The Miracle Worker D7, I feel, is going to be a bit more of a unique platform, but between the two, the Shrike is the higher performer. But the Miracle Worker D7 does get you Ruin. it's really a question of, do you want something that, you know, do you want a carrier? Do you want the ruin of our enemies, or do you want the Shrike and the trade off of it that's like mixed armament synergy? I mean, both of them are really good platforms. It really just depends on what your play style preferences are. Personally, I would probably go with the like just looking at it from the accessory point of view. I still personally would prefer Ruin, but I think if you don't want to deal with needing to get kills to get the buffs, then the Shrike trait is probably going to be more useful. Gotcha. Yeah, for me, I think I mean, personally, I think I would still lean towards that D7, but I do think for more general gameplay, the Shrike trait is probably going to be more useful. The thing with the Shrike trait versus Ruin is that the Shrike trait is that damage buff from it is there immediately. Ruin can be a much larger damage buff, but it takes time to get to that. And it takes kills. And as soon as you go out of red alert, you do lose the stacks of it that you have. Let's see. Tempted to buy the 13th bundle, but I already have some of the ships. Yeah, I mean, if you want the sticks on account wide unlock, the sticks is still like the best tank platform in the game right now. So, I mean, the 13th bundle does still have nice, unique aspects to it that make it worth picking up. Ruin with the gravel, yeah. Is the Mir Gagarin worth to buy for the console? Honestly, I don't even recall what the console is. I don't think I ever used it. I can't really comment on the console too much there. Let me take a look at what it is. Still wiki. Mir Gagarin. Terrible Ed. Um, I don't recall the projected wave projector or protomatter wave projector thing like being too crazy. I legitimately like. I don't think I ever really used this console after like trying it once. Yeah, I think I tried it when the ship first came out, and then just literally never used it again. So I mean, it's up to you. I wouldn't spend $40 on that, but if you were really wanting the Mir Gagarin, it's your money. What do I think would be a good dual beambank ship? Pretty much any of the like top end CSV like platforms, like the Legendary Avenger, the Inquiry, the what else? The Dalkina. Like there's many different options when it comes to like dual beambank platforms. Like it's basically what is the top energy weapon platforms. Are you wanting to do surgical strikes? Are you wanting to do beam overload? Like for me, the only dual beam bank setup that I have on this character right now is on my D7 temporal, and that's actually a beam overload setup. But I use that for like side support. So that's basically the only use it ever sees is just like side support for like hive runs. And even then I run CSV nowadays for that. A D7 Temporal Battle Cruiser still pretty good for the recursive Shearing 3 plus Beam Overload 3 plus OSS 3 combo. The World Razor would also largely achieve the same thing now. Okay, where's the Shrike? I am out of batteries already. So this crafting keybind that I'm using, I actually have a video on it from several years ago. The only one that works nowadays is the numpad 4 one that lets me bring up the previous item that I crafted. That's how I get the crafting done quickly. And if you just look up crafting keybinds on the channel, it should pop up. Does still have TOS themed heavy cannons? I don't recall off the top of my head. I mean, there's TOS themed. There's a bunch of TOS themed weapons over at K13. I would say to take a look over there. No, the D7 I was just on is the promo one. Well, technically, Ed, if it is the Tamarian, the winter ship, the winter event does extend into 2024. So it's the same ship, Ed. Okay, I'm gonna bail out of the private group here, or I'm already out. Okay. Next up, I want to do a Cure Space Elite. So Cure found on Elite difficulty. The reason I want to do this is because I was talking about this earlier. The Borg assimilators in there, they don't line up with the map properly. Terrible, Ed. Juggernaut Elite, terrible. Terrible, Red. Did it not queue me? Oh, you can. And then it queues me for advanced, damn it. I hit it, I don't know why it didn't go there. There, it goes now. Demba, his eyes wide. Yeah, I mean, like I said in the news video, the winter event ship is most likely that Tamarian cruiser. And for those of you, again, that did not see it, this is what the Tamarian Deep Space Cruiser looks like. The reason that it is believed that this is the winter ship is because they showed the new winter sweaters off on the 10 forward, and 2 of them had Tamarians on them. So keep an eye on the green line under the assimilators. You're going to notice that it doesn't line up right. I don't think they fixed it. Nope. Corpse spread misfired. Thank you, Stowe. Well, they don't connect to the bottom of the assimilators like they did with the cubes. Well, I'll move over to the next one. Can't even see. You see how the line doesn't... Yeah, there used to be the cube there, so it lined up differently. Yeah, the servers are definitely in a wonderful state right now. If you guys ever want to know why the DPS scene is pretty much dead in this game at this point, it's because the server performance being like this means, like, actually trying to do runs is just not a pleasant experience. Like, imagine trying to do, like, a speed run or something, and you're dealing with, like, your ship rubber banding backwards because the servers for this game just suck. Just not fun. go. Yeah, I'll probably never fix it, to be honest. I can shoot the ship that is behind me because of the console. Or I can't. It's not actually working. So my front weapons weren't able to fire through? Is like that's what it looked like there. Like when I hit the portal, so I put myself in front of the enemy with me facing them, or facing away from them, and I had the portal in front of me, so I should have been able to have shot my front weapons through it, but I don't think that it let me. Okay, I need to... Why is the quality so bad? Go back here a couple seconds. So when I was at the portal... Yeah, so like the portal's active, but only my aft weapons fired. So that's weird. It doesn't... I couldn't fire the Maelstrom. I couldn't fire my forward weapons. They just weren't able to go through the portal. So the portal isn't perfect. Like there's still clearly some buggy interactions with it there, but that is a bit disappointing to see. I really, to be perfectly honest, the more I try to use this portal console, the less impressed I am by it. Yeah, you can also activate some abilities through it also, from what they've said, but yeah, that's the more I use the portal console, the more disappointing it is. What type of ship do I think the Tamarian will be? It'll be a cruiser. I mean, it's literally called the Deep Space Cruiser, so the question is, what type of stats do they give it? Some of the other things could be gambling. Assimilators are bad, server lag, DPS, terrible. Terrible warp core. Yeah, it's not working right. I imagine over time they'll fix the portal and resolve some of these issues, but right now, definitely is not perfect. Voyager, I don't think anyone outside of Cryptic is actually aware of what happened. Will the event ship be full spec? They don't really do full spec on event ships. Event ships are always meant to be weaker than C-store ships, just so they don't devalue the paid ships in the game. Or at least the current like spec that they put on premium ships. Let's see here. Let's do, let's do another infected. But I am going to, I'm going to drop the portal console. I just don't think it's doing anything for me other than the passives. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to put on the Graviton Displacer here for this run. And I am going to use this to group everything up the gateway and resolve all of my issues. Hopefully. Drop the portal console into your inventory? Terrible. Okay, I'm going to do public queue for Infected Elite. So if you want in, just going to do public queue. Infected Elite, here we go. And that is Infected Space. Ed the Terrible? What have I done? I bought something the other day that I probably shouldn't have. I'll pull it up here. I bought a gold XL Enterprise D. Not full price. I did not pay full price. It was $60, but it's partially damaged. So I got to try. Well, I mean, I don't have to try and fix it. I can just leave it on the shelf back there, and I'll never notice it. But I'll pull up the listing and just show the damage it has. It's basically, it's got some imperfections on some of the coating, and on the front of the saucer, straight up, some of the coating is missing. Yeah, I'll show it on screen here after this. I don't have it on hand yet.
Scanning the nanite transformer. Got additional data available.
Corpse Red misfired. I'm not going to fire on a Maelstrom. That is unfortunate. That's a huge amount of damage that I just lost because of that Corpse Red. Yeah, this is garbage. The lag is just ridiculous. To be honest, one of the reasons I don't play this game as much as I used to is because this is the type of stuff that I like doing. You know, I like playing this harder elite content, but it's not a fun experience when the Stowe servers just suck. I'm just gonna go to the other side. Like this run, like as soon as that start with the torp spread didn't go off, like the run was dead. Another torp spread misfire. That is similar. We got through it, but damn, the server's not being the most cooperative today.
Sensors confirm that the transwarp conduit has been
Let's see. Terrible Ed. Did the Stargate Prometheus sell out yet? No, they still have some of the Prometheuses. Yeah, I've got a bunch of them in my cart over on Master Replicas just to see what the stock is at. They still have quite a few. I mean, 212 right now. The way you can keep track of the current stock on some things on Master Replicas is you just add them to the cart, and it'll tell you how many are left. That way you can just see, you know, how close things are to selling out. And as for the Gold XL, so it was $60. These things usually retail for 300. So the damage is, you see there's some imperfections on some parts of the coating. That's not that bad. I don't think that part's bad at all. Where the issue is this saucer. You see this little bit there on the front of the saucer on the top and also on the bottom. I don't think that's going to be too noticeable from a distance, especially if it's, up on a shelf higher than what I would, I'm not going to see the top of the saucer, but I could probably get some paint or something to, just cover that back up and make it so that that's not really that noticeable. It's, it's not perfect, but it was a fifth of the cost of what it normally would be. And I think it's repairable. Yeah, exactly, Corey. Steven, thanks for stopping by. Take care, man. Dan, how's it going? Starleg Online sounds like a cool name. Terrible. Yeah, it's just brutal for anyone. Like, could you imagine trying to do PvP, with that type of like lag and just misfire performance there? Um, Marathon. Okay, there we go. I can read the rest of the message. Lil Gold Chromo Paint. Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I think that is repairable. And the imperfections there, I don't think are that bad. I was not intending to pick up the gold Enterprise D, but I saw $60. It's not that bad compared to what they are over on Master Replicas, where the gold one is, let's see, and that's in, yeah, $300. So $60, not bad. Are all of the Star Trek Eagle Moss ships popular? Not all of them, but quite a few of them are. But there's some also that just like don't move. And I do have a link down in the description. So I know a lot of you guys are aware of Master Replicas, but also keep an eye on Real Merch. Real Merch has had some pretty decent sales. Just this past week, they had one where you could pick up 3 ships, but only pay for one of them. So I do have an affiliate link there in the description. And if you want to keep an eye on them, I imagine they'll probably have some more sales running here over the next, the next week, especially with Black Friday. And, some of the sales they've done are pretty damn good. Like that recent sale where it was basically buy one, get 2 free was pretty crazy. I picked up the Sona Collector, the Sona Intel ship, and the Angle for like $40. It's a pretty good deal. Plus like $10 for shipping. Slinus, how's it going? Yours has battle damage. That's a plus. I'm thinking about selling most of. Yeah, I mean, check on eBay. Some of them are really crazy price wise. And I would say, probably look into it sooner rather than later. Well, I guess the Eagle Moss stuff will probably hold value for a long time, but Fanhome is supposedly going to be making some new Star Trek ships starting next year. The Borg Cube. Yeah, they have a Borg Cube. It's like 6 inches. They were going to do an XL one, but they never got around to it. Wrath of Khan badge for $10. Nice. Where they got destroyed in First Contact. Eagle Moss F, yeah, it's crazy, and some of the other versions of the Enterprise F are like $200 over there. Legitimately crazy. Okay, I'm gonna just quickly get my endeavors done. Give me just a moment. Destroy Tholian ships. Just going to go into a vault real quick solo. Yeah, I did end up picking up a Prometheus. Yeah, Darth. Halil's here. He wants an XL A, B, or C real bad.
Many of our forces are defending the...
He almost had the B and C the other day, but unfortunately was just a bit unlucky. I don't know if they'll do that, Jeff. That would be interesting. You can use whatever flavor of plasma you want. You don't have to use the quad cannon. The quad cannon, the reason I was using it is because I upgraded it. I've personally been focused on collecting the Battlestar Galactica line of ships. I just need at this point the Blooding Chrome Galactica and Viper. For the Viper, they're supposedly going to have more in February.
We will return as soon as we are able.
And the Galactica supposedly by like sometime in the next couple weeks they're going to have a couple hundred of them available. Yeah, I've got the... So for me, I've got the XL E, and I do also have the Enterprise D XL arriving today, hopefully, along with one of the Excelsiors, not the B, but just the NX 2000 or whatever. And then, of course, I've got that gold XL Enterprise D that'll be arriving here sometime soon. Yeah, I need to get some space healing done, so I'm going to hop over to my tank character. Nick, how's it going? So was there any other questions about the Shrike? Like, it's a good platform. The console on it doesn't seem to be as useful as I think many of us were hoping it would be. Like, in lower difficulty content, I'm not sure you're really going to be able to even use it that much. But in elite content, maybe if you use it against a big target, you'll be able to benefit from it. But even then, I found it was shutting down for me in some situations. It was just buggy. I'm on my tank? Yes, I am. Okay. 5 Onslaught Elite. Yeah, the portal was just being a bit buggy when I was trying it out. The trait, I think, is fine. The trait, I think many of you are going to be able to benefit from heavily. But for me, running just the pure cannon builds, not really going to be able to do too much with it compared to the other traits I have. And on that point, I did also put up a post on Reddit. So I was a bit negative about the trait when I was doing the stats breakdown the other day. And I was really focused on like how it would impact my builds. But the reality is that, you know, for most people running like the Surgical Strikes build or, you know, using builds that are able to get more of the damage sources that the trait gets stacks from, you're going to be getting pretty good performance out of it. But for me on a cannon build, and especially one that typically is up near 100% crit chance, against some of the other traits I have, like Ship the Line, Calm Before the Storm, the value of it is a bit questionable. It's not bad. It's just that I think for the specific builds that I run, the other options are probably better for me. And I'll bring those numbers back up here. The Eagle Moss DS9, yeah, those things have been selling quite a bit. Voltic, I honestly have not tried that yet. But yeah, the Shrike trait, depending on what your crit chance is at, you know, it's going to gain value the lower your crit chance is against some of the other traits out there, like Ship of the Line. But if you're up near like 100% crit chance, I think Ship of the Line is just easier to maintain full uptime on compared to the Shrike trait. It's a very small difference, you know, 0.0003 there. And that, for me, I'd rather just run Ship of the Line. And OPOG, it does potentially beat as soon as you get 5 stacks of it. But if you only have 3 or 4 stacks of the Shrike trade up, I think you'd probably be better off with OPOG, in my opinion. But you can look at the math here yourself. And for Calm Before the Storm, that definitely is just better than the Shrike trait. The Eagle Moss Starbase one. Oh yeah, it's a really great model. Okay. I'll do one more queue, and then I do have to hop off because I need to go get lunch put together here for my mom and the niece. And need to try and catch the mailman when he's stopping by, because need them to find the package they missed delivered yesterday. So for the final queue here, you know, we've got a bunch of people here. Let's do a Crystalline Catastrophe. Crystalline Catastrophe on Advanced, and I'm going to use the portal to make it so I can constantly shoot the entity. So I'm going to put that back on. Again, Crystalline Catastrophe Advanced, public queue. 10-player TFO. Let's get a few people in here. You missed the space dock the other day. They had a drop of the of Earth space dock on Master Replicas on Wednesday, and it stayed in stock for like 5 minutes. The regular one, I think they may actually have stock of. Real Merch may also have it. Okay, so as soon as this crystalline's done, I am going to have to bail out. Yeah, I know, Zor. Is Q going to go? Public queue, Crystalline Catastrophe Advanced. Get this going. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. The drop ship from Aliens. Are you sure they don't have one of those already? Yeah, I know, Darth. Corpse spread misfired again. This is one of the laggier crystallines I've felt in a while. I fired my Maelstrom at the wrong time. The portals were destroyed by it. Like, there's something buggy happening with these portals. Like, are they able to take damage and be destroyed or something? Like... Okay, good job, everyone. That was... weird. Yeah, the lag there was interesting. Okay, I need to bail out. So again, thank you to everyone for stopping by today. Sorry to have to cut the stream a bit short here. Hopefully you saw something, you know, regarding the strike that helps you determine if you want to pick it up or not. Terrible Voyager. Yeah. Okay, I will see you guys around. And like I said earlier, I might be doing a video here with Goss in the next couple days, just taking a look at some of the Black Friday sales. And I'll have my own Black Friday videos up here throughout the next couple of days. So stay tuned for that.